Nigger.
You got me fucked up.
Nigger.
I'm sitting here going into the parking lot
Nigger.
asking if you good.
Bitch.
You been staring.
You called me a nigger. Go ahead.
I called you a nigger. You're a nigger. Nasty fucking nigger.
Okay. You called me a nigger. Go ahead.
I called you a nigger. You're a nigger. Nasty fucking nigger.
Okay.
You tell Holly Cameron last week you don't want to talk with her. You don't want to train her. But I understand you. だってあの女歌うことしかできない。
Tropico is proud to welcome its new privateers and stresses that it's categorically not piracy when it's sanctioned by the state. Airplanes have revolutionized warfare, yet Tropico still has no air force. An official palace statement says, learn to fly one, then we will get planes.
Look, before I get into this roasting, this evisceration of Triple Fraud, I just want to point out one thing. What the hell are you wearing, Triple H? Triple H, couldn't find his dress shoes or some shit. What the hell is this? You got the Air Force Ones. What is that? Air Force with the fucking tongues out? It seems like you stumbled out the fucking house, right? Just scrambling around. Steph, can you help me find my Air Forces, please? Help. Yeah, I gotta go to Cody's. Yeah. And you come out looking like this? This guy needs to stop with his sneakers. Anyways, check this out, guys. Okay? Triple H went on the podcast, and basically, for 3 hours straight, the guy is basically trying to justify his bookings, justify his gatekeeping strategies, his gatekeeping methodologies. Now check this out. Now look, Cody Rhodes over here asked him a very intriguing question, asking Triple H about his pet peeves in the business, his pet peeves working with fellow WWE wrestlers. Now let's hear what Triple Fraud has to say.
Because I see it in so many people. They're going to get to the end of what is a magnificent career in so many levels, creatively, successfully. It's like the guy that played in the end. He makes it to the NBA. He plays in the NBA. He's a top player in the NBA. But his name doesn't get mentioned next to Michael Jordan's, and it just eats him alive.
Yeah. What the hell is this guy talking about? It is not bad to be ambitious, guys. Ladies and gentlemen out there, it seems like the guy has a bunch of favorites in his head. Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Becky Lynch. That he's going to push forever. And he's never going to take a shot on somebody like Tozawa. He's never going to take a shot on somebody like LA Knight. Okay, LA Knight, for example. He wants to be the top guy. He has all the chops to be the top guy. And what does Triple H tell him? You've had an awesome career, you know. A lot of things to be proud of. Financially, successfully. Don't attach yourself to a certain place or a belt or anything of that matter. You had an awesome career. A magnificent Hall of Fame career. Awesome. What are you talking about? Why is it bad to be ambitious? Why is it bad to have desires, ambitions to be the top guy in the company? That's what it should be. So Triple H basically wants the people in Canada to be proud. They want people to be proud, grateful to be there, instead of reaching for more. You see, this is disgusting, man. This is the leadership that we're getting. Whereas Vince McMahon, I don't think he would be, you know what I mean, pushing this fucking ideology of like, oh yeah, if you're here, then you're successful. No. So basically, what we're getting here from Triple Fraud is his justification for gatekeeping, holding people back, right? LA Knight, Karrion Kross, right? A lot of these talents that can hang at the top level, right? Who have ambitions to be at the top level, and you're just gatekeeping the fuck out of them? Just because they should be happy to be there? They should be grateful to be there? And that's the problem with LA Knight. He's dealing with this as a leader. He's dealing with somebody that's going to tell him day in and day out, every single time he crosses that gorilla room, he's going to tell him, yeah, it's awesome. All the stuff you're doing, awesome. a magnificent career. Just beating around the bush. When bosses, they like to beat around the bush. They like to fucking move the goalposts and shit. This is exactly what he does. Right? The goalpost is getting moved further and further and further. The fucking, hoops and rings he has to grab in the goddamn swimming pool. He is reaching all of them. And what does Triple Fraud tell him? You're doing completely awesome. You're going to go up against speed. Speed? You see how oh my god, this is the worst thing he's ever said. Worst thing he's ever said. The worst statement I've ever heard coming from this mouth right here. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, everybody watching at home, it is okay. Try to be the best that you can be. This guy is trying to push this fucking weak-ass ideology, this weak-ass narrative that you should just be grateful. Oh, yeah, just be grateful. Yeah, be grateful. Yeah, you're here. Eat the General Tao chicken and catering. Yeah, awesome. The fuck are you talking about? Be grateful. Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. He's trying to justify gatekeeping all these superstars. Now, look, Triple H went on to say that Arn Anderson, he had a similar mentality of being grateful for the position that he's in, grateful for the praise he gets backstage. When in reality, right, when he goes out there, the fans look at him, they look at him like a mid-carder, right? And he's saying that, more people on the roster should have that mentality. You see how fucking, you see how stupid that is? Just because that's Arn Anderson, just because Arn Anderson had that career doesn't mean every person after Arn Anderson should have the same ambitions, should function the same way. This is crazy, dude. He's telling this to LA Knight, guys. These are the exact fucking words, the exact ideology he's trying to drill into LA Knight's ambitious brain. Ridiculous, man. All right, let's move on here.
You, Punk, Seth.
Yeah.
Right?
You see, Triple H, he sees Cody Rhodes as nothing more than an apple-bringing, extra pencil-having teacher's pet. This is a fucking apple, guys, all right? This is not a tomato. This is a fucking apple. And Triple H, he loves apples. Cody Rhodes, he likes to bring apples to the goddamn gorilla room. He slides it up on the goddamn desk. Here you go, sir. Why is it Cody, CM Punk, and Rollins? Okay, number one, okay. Let's break it down. Seth Rollins, yeah. Okay, he's already been the golden boy for Triple H. CM Punk, I don't know what type of fucking self-development book this guy had to read to, self-improve to get to Triple Fraud's heart. I don't know what the hell he did, but you get the point. Cody Rhodes, of course. Okay, the equity's there, the name is there. He's the Cena of the generation. Cody Rhodes is honestly one of the ones that I vouch for. I think that he would do a great job running a company because he already has experience. Now, creatively, I don't know. Now, this was another clip from the podcast of Triple H and Cody Rhodes talking about physiques. Okay, physiques. Let me draw a physique right here. You see? Whose physique is this? Hello. Who's this? Hello. It's just me, Oos. Day one-ish. This is his tribal tattoo right here. He's got sleeves, right? Boom. This is Jay. You know what? Fuck it. It's not Jay. But anyways, Triple H, he goes ahead and talks about how believability comes in different forms. All right? They don't all have to look like the Ultimate Warrior. They don't all have to look like fucking Brock Lesnar. There just has to be, some sort of believability in the ring. Okay? Check this out.
I don't think that means you have to be a bodybuilder, lean where you can see your abs, but I think that works for some folks. I think that there's also room for the Gunthers.
How did I know he was going to say that, guys? I knew it. Room for the Gunthers? Yeah, you don't need to do an ab workout, ab routine, no calorie deficit. Yeah, you can just eat whatever you want. Yeah, it's kind of like Gunther. The hell out of here. talking about nutrition, right? You're the nutrition guy, aren't you? Aren't you the nutrition guy for, what's his name, Donald? You're out here talking about body shapes and sizes can be loved, and you're talking about the WWE loves all shapes and sizes. We don't have to see your abs. I don't think this guy's on the same planet as us guys. You know what planet he's on? Planet Stupider. How about that? How about that, Triple Fraud? This guy's talking about physiques. Yeah, okay. On a real note, right? There are different types of physiques in wrestling. There are the lean, 09 Randy Orton type of guys. There are the Cody Rhodeses, right? I would say he's like at a medium build. There's the fucking people like Brock Lesnar, Obafemi, the Brutes, the Beasts, and then a tier above that in terms of like size is probably like, the Big Shows, the Umagas of the world, the Big Daddy V's of the world, right? And then the fifth category, okay? These guys are unnecessarily out of shape. Gunther, for instance, this motherfucker. You think he's getting there to that weight? You think he's doing that on purpose? No, not on my watch, Triple Fraud. Not on my watch, Gunther. If you want to get big, get big. Fat Max, just like Umaga. Just like Big Daddy V. I loved... Okay, if you guys have been watching this channel for a while, you guys know that I loved Walter when he was that big, stocky, chudulous beast he was, man. I loved it. I digged it because he was a believable character. It fit the way he carried himself, right? This is the problem with the WWE. They cannot have no fucking skinny fat guys. Gunther is skinny fat. I don't want to hear this shit. Oh my god, he's doing it on purpose. He's the ring general. You don't get it, intern John. You don't get it. I don't want to hear that shit. If you want to be big, if you want to be chudulous, go all the way. Stop cutting the Twinkies in half and trying to, I'm going to save that for later. No, eat the whole thing, dude. It's okay. It's better when it's intentional, guys. Again, Solo Sikoa. He looks amazing how he looks. All right? Jacob Fatu, he looks amazing for what he's going for. But that's the thing. He is going for that. Solo Sikoa, he's going for that. Umaga, he's going for that. It is the look that they desire. It is the look that they wanted for themselves. That fits their character. Gunther, on the other hand, the guy is like, he's going on a calorie deficit 1 week, the next week he's on a surplus, just a fucking 5-day bender eating these Turkish treats. Like, come on, dude, really? My God, bro. And that's the thing, right? I'm not saying that everybody has to look like Brock Lesnar. Get this straight, all right? There's some part of me that agrees with Triple Fraud. But again, can we please get some people with some intentionality behind them? Gunther, gain weight. Jey Uso, if you want to be big, gain weight just like your brother, Solo. Solo Sikoa, if you want to be bigger, you want to be a little bit more believable, like Umaga, then gain a little bit more pounds, dude. You see, believability comes in different shapes and sizes. I agree 100%, but goddammit, don't tell me that Gunther is the main example you're using, Triple Fraud. Okay, because he's very wishy-washy. All right? Choose. Now, this was another clip that was taken from the podcast where Cody Rhodes brought up the throne he smashed in AEW. Okay? Check this out.
Shit to me is like, I remember when people brought it to me and said, like, shown it to me, and I was like, fuck yeah, all right, good for him. I would have thought there was malice in it.
Yeah.
And maybe indirectly there was some at the time. I don't know. But like, if I would have thought...
Ooh, indirectly, huh? He's not gonna just, let it slide, Cody Rhodes. You're not just dealing with Paul Levesque here, Triple Fraud, your boss, Cody Rhodes. You're dealing with a Macbeth manipulating Othelian Shakespearean fucking manipulator in Triple Fraud. That is why he threw that out there. One thing I will say is that Triple Fraud was definitely proud of Cody Rhodes coming back. You know, him reinventing himself, having this evolution. You know, I do see, Triple H actually, being proud of Cody Rhodes. Okay, that is one thing that I will not take away. Now, Triple H once again tried to justify his trash bookings with saying that he can't book certain things because in the real world, they don't like each other.
So I'm just reviewing this, see if it's good or not. You done review with me?
I'm just going to let that sit with you guys for a second. You guys hear that shit? You ever been to work? You ever look at your boss? You ever look at this guy over there in office in Block A? Right? You ever look in HR and you see the slew of old ladies who you hate? The slew of old men, brain dead, deaf executives looking at you, and you look back at them and you hate them, but you still continue to be professional, to work there? Does Triple H not understand that concept? God damn it! You're telling me LA Knight doesn't like anybody? You're telling me people have problems with LA Knight? You're telling me the reason why LA Knight is not getting a push, why, Karrion Kross didn't get a push, is because people didn't like the guy? What type of leadership is this, dude? Workplace drama exists. Whatever. You hate this person, you like this person, what the fuck ever. You still have to show up and do your job. You still have to show up and be a civil, professional civilian. Insane, man. Insane. The fact that he's using this platform, right? This podcast to justify his decision-making, his poor decision-making is honestly disgusting. Check this out, right? Cody Rhodes, he went on and talked about how, Vince McMahon and Triple H, the gradual transition of power between Vince McMahon and Triple H, okay? The awkwardness that came with it. Now check this out.
Would you have preferred there been a real clear moment, or did you like the...
In that transition...
He's thinking about the Thanksgiving dinners. He's thinking about the Christmas Eve that's about to be awkward this year. He's like, oh, Triple Fraud. Spit it out.
If it's a little bit not your position, and you don't want to say, well, because,
Poor Triple Fraud, man. Ari Emanuel, he can make one call. One call. The reason why you can't defend your position, the reason why you won't go back and fight Nick Khan, Ari Emanuel, the powers that be at TKO is because you know the power they wield.
It's just such a complex... There's so many...
Reptiles. Agents of the Matrix he's dealing with while booking this show. How about that? How about just say that, Triple Fraud? Just spit it out.
Aspects to what we do.
Agents of the Matrix. Aspects. How about Aztecs? The Aztecs in the sky. How about that? The people who control a lot of things we don't even understand. We can't even comprehend. Aspects. Aspects. Reptile. The scared booking, the safe booking that I'm talking about, man. Like, what's the point of even doing something creative if you don't have control of what you do? Triple Fraud. Don't you like cinema? There is no movie out there that is safe, that should be considered cinema. So I don't know what type of cinema you're watching. Better not be Avengers or some bullshit. Some surface level ass movie. The Hulk.
It's just such a complex. There's so many
reptiles and Aztec forces in the sky that I can't control, Cody. Ari, one time, funny story. When we were drinking with the boys and stuff in the limo, so he flipped up his head and I'm like, oh shit. Awesome. Like, he had yellow eyes, Cody, like, it's awesome, like, awesome. Oh. This motherfucker has seen it all. I see behind those eyes. That is a stare. What is that thing called, guys? The 9 Mile stare? He's seen it all. He went to those fancy dinners. He took those free fancy dinners. And you know what he saw? He came back from the washroom after eating his escargot. He sees fucking Ari Emanuel. Oh, man. This motherfucker sees a table full of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Triple fraud. How about that? How about you tell us the truth a little bit, huh? This guy's seen it all. I know for sure he's seen it all. He's talking about aspects and this and that. Come on. Anyways, guys. This podcast was just a bunch of fucking justifications for his bookings. Okay, the usual. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You guys already know what this is. Okay, the high rise living, work wise, still an intern John. Out.
You know, pro wrestling in 2025 and now on into this year, 2026, is boring. It really is. It really is. I don't really know how else to put it. There's just no emotion. There's no creativity. There's no new, unique, fresh ideas to really make it interesting. There's no cliffhanger moments on the show. There's nothing on the weekly television that gets you excited about the next week's television. Apathy. That's a great word. Apathy. There's a lot of apathetic feeling towards what's happening in both WWE and AEW. So much so that the stories behind the scenes, the drama behind the scenes is more interesting than the stories that are playing out on television. There is more emotion from the performers, from the bigwigs, from corporate, and from the fans in regards to the stories behind the scenes than there is towards the stories that are taking place on television. TNA. I don't cover TNA. I don't know why anybody would want me to cover TNA. But apparently they are in the hot seat now, and drama is percolating in TNA because Carlos Silva, the boss, pulled talent from various independent shows all through WrestleMania week on into May, canceled his talent's matches because it was a conflict of interest. Partner conflicts is the words that he used to describe this situation. We're going to talk about what Carlos Silva did. There was growing concern that TNA would pull talent from matches against AEW wrestlers. He did indeed live up to that and pulled his talent from these matches and blocked all other upcoming matches with TNA talent and AEW wrestlers and AEW partners. We'll get into it today right here on Off the Script. It is your Thursday, April 9th, 2026. Pro wrestling is a sleazy business. It is a very sleazy business, a business that you really shouldn't be trusting anybody in. One person says something one day and it's a completely different story the next week. And the world goes on. There was a story that was put out by Fightful. Growing concern that TNA will pull talent from matches against AEW wrestlers. They put this behind their paywall. Fightful Select learned that first Moose has been pulled from an upcoming Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling show. We're told, says SAP, Moose was approved for the show, but there could be bigger ramifications coming in the upcoming weeks in regards to this story. It was indicated to Fightful from TNA sources that Moose may have had a scheduling conflict on that date. Yes, because we're going to believe the TNA sources, who probably want to spin their own story and their own narrative to the dirt sheets and not really give you the actual reason why they pulled Moose from Maple Leaf Pro. However, there was fear now after this Moose situation within the indies that Leon Slater and Nick Nemeth would be pulled from planned matches with AEW talent. Now, Leon Slater was supposed to wrestle Ricochet at an event during WrestleCon WrestleMania weekend. Nick Nemeth was supposed to wrestle MJF in May at a Creative Pro show here on Long Island. So those matches have been planned, advanced, and built upon for these upcoming shows. Sources familiar with the situation believe that it is heading towards an environment where TNA talent can't wrestle AEW talent anywhere. Those that we spoke to, says Fightful, believe that Nemeth is pushing to remain on the match with MJF. The immediate reaction we got from TNA was that Carlos Silva was okay with TNA wrestlers working Maple Leaf Pro, but the people close to Maple Leaf heard that Silva wasn't happy about AEW running Collision opposite TNA Impact last week, even though that was a decision made by Warner Brothers Discovery, as AEW has seemed to like the college basketball lead-in that the weekends have brought. Yes, but that's not really a real way to gauge the ratings for the show, which is going to be talked about in the community as, oh, well, look, AEW Collision did 650,000 viewers on a Saturday night, JD. They're closing the gap, JD. No, they're not closing the gap. You had all those people lead in to Collision from the college basketball game, and 0 of them remained by the end of the night. It's a fake number. They only use it to tout how successful they are, and then the dirt sheets peddle that as AEW is growing. No, it's all bullshit. I'll get into the moving to Thursday night in a second, which Carlos Silva told Fightful that the wrestlers were pulled from shows due to partner conflicts. Whatever the fuck that means. So that was the first story. Then this next story comes out. Partner conflicts. So Sapp touched upon partner conflicts. Sources familiar with the situation claim to Fightful that MJF was actually planned to face Bear Bronson at GCW in March. However, TNA blocked a match for Bear Bronson against MJF. It was noted that Mercedes Moné versus Jody Threat was not blocked, with the TNA wrestler going over Mercedes last week. A number of TNA wrestlers expressed frustration to Fightful about this decision after Carlos Silva indicated that all of this was due to partner conflicts. Sources also told Fightful Select that Carlos Silva was not happy in regards to AEW running Collision on a Thursday last week, which he reiterated that Sapp was a Warner Brothers Discovery call. AEW sources claim that AEW would have likely preferred to air after March Madness games because of the major lead-in from those basketball games. Nick Nemeth says he's upset after now his match with MJF gets pulled and canceled. He says he was really looking forward to this. Nick Nemeth did not hide any disappointment after TNA president Carlos Silva pulled his scheduled match against MJF May 1st, Melville, New York, Create a Pro. TNA president Carlos Silva cited partner conflicts as the reason for the cancellation. A decision that has also resulted, like I mentioned, Moose being pulled from Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, and X Division champion Leon Slater being removed from a match against Ricochet at WrestleCon's Mark Hitchcock Memorial Super Show. Nemeth addressed this situation on Busted Open, saying he only found out about the decision while flying in. He says, and I quote, I was really looking forward to this. I was really, really excited. But yes, as of yesterday, as I was flying in, I found out it's because of certain partnerships and brands. TNA President Carlos Silva had to make a difficult decision and protect a couple of brands down the line and things that are actually contractually obligated to happen. You can't just kind of do whatever we want, even though I think some things were approved at a different time when it became the situation that it is now with a couple of different things happening at once. I'm crushed. I was very much looking forward to doing this, but it's unable to happen at the moment, so we're still doing a Create a Pro show, and refunds will be available, and also MJF is going to do an open challenge there, and he's still going to be signing and doing all the things at Create a Pro for that big show, and all of those things will happen. Well, MJF's a fucking pro. That's why. And so is Nick Nemeth. I'm going to wrestle Bear Bronson for the first time ever. I hate that it had to come out this way. I hate that this wasn't all taken care of in the past, but that's something we can all work on. I got to start reading some fine print And we have to protect people that we actually work with and we have partnerships with. Usually I'm pretty great about that, so I'll stay on that for everything that we do because a lot of different things that TNA talent do, 2 out of 3 weeks or 3 out of 4 weeks, are independent shows and getting paid that way and being able to go out there and have that leeway from the company. But we just need to be a little bit more communicating with each other going forward. And I'm bummed out. I'm going to try and make this match happen one day and hopefully soon. But at the moment, it is currently not happening. But Friday, May 1st, I'll still be there. Melville, New York, Create a Pro. Nick Nemeth said on Busted Open. Now, MJF went and did MJF things and said MJF things. He wasn't as complimentary, I should say, that's a good word, of the situation. MJF did not hold back when his match with Nick Nemeth was pulled by TNA. MJF responded directly on Twitter, as you guys see on screen there. It's called being preempted due to March Madness. This guy is actively a dumb motherfucker. Congrats. You pay your talent shit, then force them off shows where they can make money. Hashtag LOL TNA. Now, the match obviously had been generating buzz heading into May. They built the entire thing on social media, and then Nemeth went on Busted Open to sell it even more. MJF did what he needed to do on social media, and the match was made. Nemeth re-signed with TNA, and this is one of the matches that he was looking forward to getting out there, being a contracted employee to TNA, because he knows that there may not be another time to get this match out there and get this match done with MJF. Everybody wants to wrestle MJF, which is not a surprise. Chat. First of all, MJF is correct. TNA pays their talents shit. And then they're tasked with doing TNA and TNA only. Or going to the Performance Center, going to NXT, and being WWE's bitch. It's basically what it boils down to. Can they work indies? Sure. I haven't seen anybody really run through the indies from TNA. I honestly thought that they were putting a stop to that. You've heard less and less and less and less and less about that in 2026 because of their partnership with WWE. WWE doesn't want TNA or any of their talents to work the indies unless it is absolutely something that they approve of and they know will not be a conflict of interest. We've seen Natty work Bloodsport. We've seen Shayna Baszler work Bloodsport. Killer Cross, Karrion Kross was doing Bloodsport while under WWE contract. Those things are innocent enough. It means nothing to WWE, and it means everything to those talents because it's an extra payday for them. Is Carlos Silva pulling these talents? Leon Slater, and Nick Nemeth, and Bear Bronson, and Moose. Is Carlos Silva pulling these talents from these shows and then actively going to pay them out of TNA's budget what they were going to make, plus some merchandise and all these other things that they do there to generate revenue for themselves? Is Carlos Silva going to pay everybody that he pulled the price that they would have made at these shows? To say, you know what, I don't want you working there, we'll reimburse you, we'll compensate you, we can't let you do that. Partner interests and conflict of interest will pay you what you were going to make. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Is he going to do that? I doubt it. I doubt it. Also, Leon Slater working Ricochet. Don't you think that Leon Slater was over the moon about that fucking match? I mean, their styles line up. Leon Slater's a hot commodity. He's wrestled with Javon Evans. He's wrestled AJ Styles. He wrestled Carmelo Hayes. When WWE was overseas in London for a United States Championship Open Challenge, he's made a name for himself through his body of work. Don't you think that his star would be a little bit brighter, more brighter, if he wrestled somebody like Ricochet during WrestleMania weekend, where all eyes of the industry have descended upon, where WrestleMania is emanating? Why would you do that to somebody that's looking to get their star brighter and get their name out there even bigger than it was last week? I don't really understand that. You know, Carlos Silva can go out there and say conflict of interest or partner interests, partner conflicts, whatever the fuck partner conflicts. Bro, I understand that TNA is in a working relationship with WWE. But he's going to go out there and make himself look like a fool when his talent goes to NXT, gets treated like shit, basically bitched out, cucked out on NXT television, and then NXT talent come on over to TNA and start taking their titles. No, but it's not a problem when TNA does it to their own with WWE. Kalani Jordan won the TNA Knockouts Championship. Ariana Grace, who by all accounts may be one of your favorite up-and-coming talents on the NXT roster. What has Ariana Grace done before she won the TNA Knockouts Championship? She hasn't done one thing in this industry. She hasn't created one memorable moment in this industry. And from what I've watched, she's basically a non-entity. There's nothing redeeming or good or stand out about Ariana Grace. The only thing that I know about Ariana Grace is that she's dating Stax. That's it. If that's the one thing that I take away from Ariana Grace, maybe Ariana Grace isn't as great as everybody wants to believe. But she's the TNA Knockout.
The citizens are demanding elections, Presidente. It's...
Everyone has friends, right, Prez? And it's right to help friends. They call me now.
Concerned about foreign trade putting you out of a job? Fear not! The customs office is here to protect you by monitoring international trade. The voice of Tropico reminds all citizens to be vigilant, eat sparingly, and buy war bonds. Victory depends upon the size of the palace treasury.
face with Michael Myers. Don't miss the pay-per-view hit horror sequel, Halloween H2O. You've been watching Pay-Per-View Movie Close-Up on the TV Guide.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Millennial Smart, and I'm back at it again with another video. Timestamps are down in the description box below if you want to skip around and go to whatever fucking commentary on whatever part of the goddamn video you want to get to. So, you guys chose Vengeance 2001, huh, buckos? Alright, let's see, what was I doing in July of 2001? Oh, actually, no. No, hang on. No, Vengeance was, I mean, it's typically in July. I think this year it was in December. Yeah, because Triple H was on the poster. It was in December this year. Yeah, because they were unifying the World Heavyweight and WWE Championship belts after Survivor Series. Yeah, it was in December this year. I remember that because Triple H was on the poster, right? That's when he's like leaning on the sledgehammer. He was actually, I think, if I remember the story correctly, I think he was actually cleared to come to this show right here, but because he got cleared like maybe like a week or a couple of days prior, he had no storylines going on or whatever, or maybe he was cleared like a month beforehand. I think Vince just wanted to hold off on him because, I mean, he was coming back on the first show for Raw, or maybe the second show. I think the first show was the Madison Square Garden show in 2002. Someone can correct me in the comment section, but I know Vince wanted to hold off on him to save him for the MSG show. But so like this is December 2001, right? So I'm not too far from being 10 years old. We're going into 2002. This would have probably most likely been before Christmas, because there's no way they're gonna have, if it was like around Christmas time and then Triple H came back 2 weeks later. So I would have this would have probably been around the time when I was starting to get my gifts. Now I remember this was actually the second year. I think probably 1999 was the year when my parents, or my stepfather and my mom, they told me that Santa wasn't real, and they were like, get over that shit and here, go pick out your fucking toys. So this is like my third year actually getting the opportunity to pick out what I wanted, but this time my grandmother took me. Funny story behind that, actually, because this is around the same time frame, so I can actually talk about this. And mind you, I forgive him. I get it. People make mistakes. I mean, you're still a piece of shit. I mean, it was 25 years ago, so, you know, live and let live. And, you know, at the time I was like 9, so obviously it's not really comprehending with me. But my grandmother was supposed to take me trick-or-treating, take me to Toys R Us when it existed at the time, to go pick up some toys, right? And I guess my grandmother, she couldn't make it. I think she was working at the time. So she told my uncle to take me to go get some toys for Christmas, right? And mind you, she told my uncle to take me there probably when I got out of school, most likely, right? But I guess he got really, really drunk. And when he gets drunk, he tends to forget. He forgets a lot of things, right? But he fears my grandmother. So I remember going up to him and, you know, saying, yo, Corey, come on, you gotta take me. I gotta get my toys. And he was like, man, I'll take you later. And, you know, I'm not recognizing what drunk is. I know what drunk it was, but I didn't understand the effects of what it can do to you and do to your body significantly. So I'm like, you gotta take me. I'm gonna tell grandma type shit, right? And it's like, all right, fine, I'll go take you. And, you know, he got out of the bed. He took me. But this motherfucker is drunk, bro. He's taking me to Toys R Us, drunker than a motherfucker. And this fucking lobotomite, my uncle, who, I mean, he's further ahead of me in age, but not too far. Corey right now has got to be pushing 50. So he's probably like maybe 16, 17 years older than me. So I treated him more like a brother than I did an uncle, because I'm the oldest. So he felt more like a brother to me. So like, I remember when we were driving on the expressway, or the highway, excuse me, and we were getting off of exit 2. I still remember this shit. This dumb motherfucker was supposed to get off on exit 2, but he was going towards exit 3, and he got off of that instead. When I told him, hey, you're getting off the wrong exit, he swerves through the median, bro. Now, I don't know what this is at the time, but I now know as an adult who's been driving for nearly 20 years, this dumb motherfucker, instead of just going through the exit and then just staying on US 1 and then going to the next exit, but this time you're going to stay on the actual, the US 1, you're just going to stay on the main road. You can just do that. You know, even if you miss your exit, you can just jump back on the main road and just keep going straight down. He crossed over the median. When he crosses over the fucking median, this dumb motherfucker, the tail light or the headlight on my side, in the mirror, if I'm not mistaken, it clips the guardrail. It clips the guardrail and it comes right off. He pulls over and he's like freaking the fuck out because it's my grandmother's car. It's not his car. It's my grandmother's car. She carpooled that day. She left him the car to take me to go get my toys. That was the whole reason, right? He took it to go get beer and get fucking drunk and then get into an accident with me inside the car. And he's like freaking the fuck out. And he's like telling me, Fonte, don't tell grandma this. Don't tell. He's saying mama, but I'm saying my grandmother. Don't tell grandma this. Don't tell grandma this. I'll do anything. I'll do anything. And I'm like, well, I mean, you know, I seen the list that I asked, you know, I'm saying my mom, what mama got me, and, you know, she gave it to grandma, and, you know, I really think what would go good with my WrestleMania X7 ring would be ladder playsets, so I can do ladder matches. He was like, but I ain't got the money for that. I'm like, well, I mean, you ain't got the money for that, that's fine, but I mean, it's gonna suck when grandma hears about it. He's like, yo, just chill, I can't get it for you today, but let me get it for you, you know, when I get paid from work. He worked for Publix at the time. When I get paid from Publix, I'll get it for you. I was like, yo, we bet, we good. He held up to his word too. He held up to his word, motherfucker, throughout the week. I remember when he fucking took my teddy bear and he put him inside the goddamn bathroom and pretended he was flushing the toilet with him inside it, and I knocked on the door. I was like, I'll tell grandma on you. And he comes out and he's like, you're such a fucking dick back then. I love him to death right now, but yeah, fun story of what happened in my life 25 years ago. Don't drink and drive, kids. So yeah, with that being said, Vengeance 2001, here we go. So the first match on the card was Scotty 2 Hottie and Albert. This is when he was doing his stupid ass, what was it, the hip hop hippo? Oh my fucking god, this was so cringe. I'm not sure if Grandmaster Sexai got released already. Did he get released already? Because I think Steve Blackman, believe it or not, I think he was still on Jacked or Metal. Steve Blackman, even though you didn't really see him throughout 2001, especially like during the Invasion angle going forward, you rarely seen Steve Blackman, but he was still wrestling. He didn't get released until a year later. Like around, believe it or not, he was still with the company up until like SummerSlam 2002. Believe it or not, he was still there. But I think Grandmaster Sexai, I'm not sure if he got released already or if he was still, I think he was still injured. No, but I think he was injured around Backlash 2001 or maybe Judgment Day 2001. And I know he was having problems with the law, even before, like, you know, the drug trafficking shit a couple of years later. He was still having somewhat problems with the law and stuff like that, so he might have got released around the time. Because this is around the time China got released as well, like a month prior. So that could have been it. But it was pretty cool, you know, seeing the early incarnation of the Un-Americans with Christian and Tess. That wasn't the goal at the time. You know, obviously, as you guys know, they eventually added Lance Storm, and they became the real Un-Americans. And I think William Regal got added a little bit later on. None of them, you know, could take the heat because this is literally months after 9/11, so people were not really fond of the whole Un-American shit after 9/11. But they got some good, total, decent, dope ass heat. Even ended up getting a match with Hulk Hogan and Edge, but you know, Hulk Hogan out of that whole ordeal, right? But this match was pretty much nothing. It wasn't really that great. You know, you got some heat off of Scotty 2 Hottie, and you know, ended up getting a super kick into I think either Test or Christian, one of those two. Got a hot tag to Albert. He ended up cleaning house. Eventually, it led to Scotty 2 Hottie. He hit like the worm, I think, on Test. And Albert, he ended up hitting the Baldo bomb, or like, you know, the lifting choke bomb, whatever you want to call it. He ended up doing that to Christian in order to pick up the win. It was cool seeing, like, you know, Test and Albert on opposing sides. That was kind of cool, I guess, because, you know, they're a former tag team, TNA with Trish. But outside of, like, the actual gimmick in itself, you know, it was kind of Not to mention, this was, like, not too long before, you know, we got, like, the actual, as I said, incarnation of Christian and Test and Lance Storm. And it just felt kind of like, you know... You know, they had such a monster run over the summer of 2002 and like the springtime, and it's like to see them lose to like a team that wasn't really a team at all for the most part. They just put them together just to have something to do. Felt a little bit disheartening, especially in such a nothing match. Not to mention, Albert wore what looked like a kufi on his head. I mean, I think it was supposed to be like a, I don't know, like a skull, like a wave cap or something, but like, I mean, he doesn't have hair. Oh, that's the joke. He doesn't have hair. He's bald, so he wears a wave cap. Like, my God, bro. Cringe. Super duper cringe. And this opener sucked. So, yeah, next match. The next match on the card was Edge versus William Regal for the Intercontinental Championship. I thought this was fine for what it's worth. It's just, I don't know. I feel like the match was... It wasn't long, but they went at least 10 minutes. At least that's what it felt like. It felt like they went like 10 minutes. And they got some decent spots in. You know, Edge, he pulled out a Super Hurricanrana off the top rope or a Jericho spike. He pulled off a nice looking Northern Lights suplex, bridged it and everything. Really nice. You don't really see Edge pull out moves like that very often. Even then, you know, around this time, this is when Edge was on like his hot streak for like a year up until like he broke his neck. We're talking about like, you can argue, but here's my thing though. This is what I'm saying. The match, because I'm going to say something in a minute, but real quick, the match in itself wasn't necessarily bad, right? You got some decent stuff out there. One of my favorite spots in the match that I never really seen before, even to this very day, Edge tried to go for, I don't know if it was like a diving spear or a diving clothesline off the apron onto Regal, and then Regal sidestepped him and he like crashed into the stairs. I thought that was a really, really unique spot. I always said that when it comes to guys like Edge and Christian and even Drew McIntyre, I feel like those are the three guys where like they have the most unique defense. Like, you know how you'll have baby faces, you know, get heat on the heels, and then the heels, they'll usually switch momentum, and then it will typically build up until you get to the baby faces comeback. Typically, you know, you'll have like a heel who will do something like, you know, maybe a signature move out of nowhere, or, you know, maybe like throw him into a ring post or throw him into a barricade outside the ring. I used to love how Edge, Christian, and Drew McIntyre, even today, but back then as well, I used to love how they used to always have like the most unique transitions in order to start building momentum and getting heat on the baby faces. Like, you'll see some shit, like, I remember I seen Drew McIntyre one time. He got heat because I forgot what the match was, but somebody tried to do like a suicide dive on him, and like he caught them, transitioned into a backbreaker, and then he like backbreaker them on the actual apron in itself. That was like back in the early 2010s, like maybe on some episode of Superstars or something. And like, I used to just love how they used to change it. They used to be the kings of that kind of shit, right? But, you know, Edge and Regal went back and forth a little bit longer. Even got like a nice little Tiger Bomb out of Regal. He did it like 2 or 3 times in this match. But eventually Edge ended up hitting a spear on him in order to retain the Intercontinental Championship. The match, like I said, the match in itself was decent. You know, they had a decent amount of time. It just... I could have used a little bit more time for this match because they were cooking, and it kind of felt like the spear. It didn't necessarily come out of nowhere, but when they were building momentum to the spear, it felt like it sort of kind of came out of nowhere for him to like pick up the win. You know what I mean? I would have liked it if they would have went a little bit longer, but that's just the story of Edge and Regal as a whole. It kind of felt like Vince put Regal with Edge to really let him show out, like prepare him as if he was like Shawn Michaels in '95 or something, getting ready to prepare him for the World Heavyweight Championship. Because it's pretty clear, you know, Vince had such a hard-on for Edge, right? Even gave him the Rob Zombie copyright theme song with Never Gonna Stop. And he has such a hard-on for him, right? He looked like a superstar. Edge with the long blonde hair, looking like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo or some shit. He just looked like a millennial version of what Shawn Michaels would have looked like. You know what I mean? That's how I feel like Vince eyed Edge at the point. But it's like Edge never really built up momentum, at least from what I can tell, until he got into his matches with Kurt Angle. You know, that's when Edge really started to cook. I will legitimately say, and I will lay claim to the fact, between April of 2002 to when Edge broke his neck in February or January in 2003 when he went out for surgery, that time frame, I truly believe Edge was top 10 performers in the entire world. I truly believe Edge was a top 10 wrestler in the entire world during that time frame. And it sucks that his neck, you know, kind of derailed his entire career for like the rest of the year. He was gone like throughout the entirety of 2003. You know, he even missed WrestleMania 19 and WrestleMania 20, so that sucked. But yeah, I don't think he cooked with the Regal feud. The Regal feud is a very disappointing feud in my opinion. Just all that, bro. Just all of that. I think he even had a match with him at Backlash, I want to say, that fucking sucked as well. Was that the brass knuckles on the pole match? Right? I think Edge and Regal had a brass knuckles on the pole match at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And that match sucked so much ass. But No Way Out as a whole, if we ever get to that review, you know, I'll just give you a hint. That's not a good fucking show at all. Maybe I'll review it sometime in the future. But yeah, Regal and Edge, decent storyline to help build Edge's career, but nah, this whole feud sucked in my opinion. Very, very disappointing feud. And quite frankly, this match was better than the No Way Out match, but it was fine. I'll just say it was solid. You know, I hear a lot of people give this match shit. I remember watching, I can't remember what I was reading, not watching, but reading. This would have been back in like maybe 2004 when I remember reading a review, because I watched Vengeance on a DVD when I had it at the time, like in 2003. But like I remember reading a review on it, right? And I remember it might have been, I want to say, WrestleZone at the time. It could have been WrestleZone, but I remember reading a review saying that this match sucked ass with Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. I did not think it sucked ass. I thought it was actually a pretty decent match. Now, you know, Matt and Jeff should never chain wrestle ever again. I thought that was ass. And the crowd, they just weren't hot for the match. I think that's what actually hurt it the most, was just the crowd was pretty dead for the match in itself. I think it's because, you know, you go into a match with the Hardy Boys, you automatically have in your brain that they're going to do some crazy shit with ladders and tables and chairs, because it's the Hardy Boys, right? Not to mention, you're coming off of that run not too long after with Jeff Hardy and RVD, where they were just having classic hardcore matches. I think people's expectations were just drastically high. So like, I remember back in the days how many people were shitting on this match. Though the one thing I will say, I get it. I understand why they had Lita as a special guest referee. I understand the whole story was built upon, you know, because it started with, as you guys know, with Survivor Series 2001, you know, the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys in the steel cage match. And, you know, it was the WCW Tag Team Championships versus the WWE Tag Team Championships, the unification. And it was one of those deals where, like, Jeff, he had to be extreme. He couldn't just climb out of the fucking cage. You know, I think Bubba was on the table. Maybe Devon, but probably Bubba, because of course it's fucking Bubba, and it's a table, and it's Jeff, so of course he missed. But like, Matt is already escaped out the cage, and Matt is telling Jeff, just climb down the cage. Ignore the temptation to swanton off the top of the cage, because you're gonna hurt yourself, you're screwed, and then I'm screwed, and I lose my belts because you want to be extreme. And Jeff said, I could climb out the cage. I'm at the top. The Dudleys are down. I absolutely could climb out the cage, win the Tag Team Championship belts, and maybe if I have time, I could probably jump back on top of the cage after winning the match and then still hit my little swanton bomb and get my moment. But I'm Jeff, and mistakes is my middle name. Extreme! And he hits a swanton, and then of course he misses, and he goes through the table, and he costs the Hardy Boys the Tag Team Championship belts, right? And the Dudleys ended up retaining their belts and winning the Hardy Boys Tag Team Championship belts. And Matt just wouldn't let Jeff, you know, he wouldn't just let him stop hearing it. He kept reading him the riot at every chance he got, right? Like, you fucked it up for us, blah 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 this, blah 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 that. And, you know, Jeff, he started to complain and confide in Lita about how much of a hard ass Matt was being. And Matt, who at the time, in real life and on television, was, you know, that was Lita's boyfriend, which Matt kind of took personal, like, I mean, are you guys talking to each other behind my back? It's one thing to fuck me over in the steel cage, now you're talking to my girl? You're my little brother. Why are you betraying me on so many levels every time I look at you? And, yeah, Jeff didn't take too kindly to, you know, being called a fuck up and now being accused of sleeping with his brother's girlfriend, especially when Jeff and Lita are close friends, more like brother and sisters. Real life too, but also on the television show, you know, they were more like brother and sister than they were, you know, an item or anything like that. Not to mention, I wish they would have brought up Beth, but like, I guess no one really cared about Jeff's Beth. Jeff and Beth rhymes. But no, yeah, they had their match, and I didn't think it was bad. Everybody kept shitting on it. Again, aside from the opening, you know, chain wrestling that was absolutely garbage, I thought they put out some decent stuff. You know, you had Jeff hit a Hurricane Rana on Matt from the ring apron. I like that spot. I like the attempted build up to the twist of fate off of the turnbuckle before Jeff actually countered it. You know, they were going back and forth with actual pin exchanges and stuff like that. And eventually, you know, the finish came with Jeff hitting a swanton on Matt, and Matt, he put his foot on the ropes, but Lita didn't see it initially, and Jeff pulled the leg from the rope, and Lita still counted the 3 count, which effectively screwed over Matt, because you should have broken up the count had you noticed it, you know, with his foot on the ropes. And you know, I thought it was actually a solid match, and I thought the feud building into it was really solid. These guys even had a decent amount of time. It went at least 15 minutes. Or at least close to it, or it felt like it at least. So like, I don't know why everybody kept complaining about it during, you know, back in the days. I thought it was fine, you know. But, you know, the feud did continue for a little bit before Jeff and Matt made up at the Royal Rumble 2002 when they started jumping The Undertaker. And whew, that's another story for another time. Whenever you guys want to review it, just holla, holla, holla. But with that being said, getting on to the next match. But still, I can't get over. People shit on this match so much. It was a fucking dope match. I liked it. I liked it a lot. The next match on the card was the Dudley Boys versus Big Show and Kane for the WWF Tag Team Championships. This match right here, it was way too short for Big Show and Kane to effectively get that much heat on the Dudley Boys, if that makes any sense, right? Like, I feel like they pretty much dominated half the match, but the match was only like 5 minutes. That was the problem with this. Here's my thing. If you're going to do this, and it's going to be this short, just get in and let both teams do their shit. Maybe even let Devon and Bubba Ray get more heat in. Maybe do a storyline where you fuck over Big Show or Kane or something along the lines of that. And now it's a glorified handicap match where like the heels get that much heat on themselves. Because otherwise, it just looks really, really disproportionate being such a short match. But Kane and Big Show are dominating this hard. You even, you know, mind you, I trust me, I like the spot a lot. But at the same time, you know, that it's wasting time. You know what I mean? Where you have Big Show, you know, spanking Stacy's ass, which at the time Stacy was the Dudley Boys. You know, she was the princess of Dudleyville, is what they called her back in the days. And like, yeah, that was awesome. Keep the spot if you're gonna have a long match. Don't do the spot when you have like 5 or 6 minutes or whatever, maybe 7 minutes. But like, yeah, they just got way too much heat on the Dudleys. And you know, the Dudleys, they ended up like dividing Kane, and like the heat for Kane felt like it went like a minute. You know what I mean? They didn't really do much. They got like a double backdrop net breaker combination on Kane, but really it was more so like, and like, okay, so that happened, then Kane tagged in the Big Show, and then Big Show and him kept having miscommunication. Big Show kept hitting Kane by accident, even at one point, which led to the finish, him knocking Kane off the apron. And then like the Dudley Boys, they ended up hitting like a, I guess you can say like a it's a double flapjack, but the way the announcers were playing it off, like it was a double 3D. But like, I'm willing to forgive it because it was like a double flapjack on the on an exposed turnbuckle. So like, I'm willing to forgive it to a certain degree because it's like Big Show's not used to being lifted up in the air like that, and the fact that he took a double flapjack on the exposed turnbuckle and that led to the finish. I know some people may have some kind of feelings about that. They might not like the fact that, like, you know, a double flapjack is a finish, which is crazy because that was like a tag team finisher at one point. You know, that was the Midnight Express tag team finish. So why the fuck can it just be a finish on an exposed turnbuckle. What's really that big of a deal? Again, my main thing is not so much the finish. I think it was actually pretty fine. It was just that, like, you dedicated so much time to Kane and Big Show getting heat for half the match, and like it felt like the Dudley Boys, they felt like inadvertently like Super Cena to a certain degree, right? Like all this heat just for them to just get the win off of like a couple of moves. It just, I don't know, I thought it was lame. I thought it was a lame match. This was bad. This was a terrible match. This was such a fucking fun match. I forgot how great of a match RVD and Undertaker was. This is another great hardcore championship match. Like, amongst the strength, 2001 was probably the strongest year when it came to hardcore champions, because RVD is the hardcore champion. In my opinion, you can say, you know, people like Steve Blackman or, you know, Crash Holly or Raven. I think Rob Van Dam is the greatest hardcore champion of all time. In regards to like matches, his matches were so fucking fun. Not to mention, it was so crazy seeing Undertaker kind of out of his element, because you don't really see Undertaker in hardcore matches like this, especially fighting for the hardcore championship, right? You know, this is not too far. This is coming off of the heels of the Undertaker's heel turn he did not too long after Survivor Series. You know, like, you think you're better than me, JR? You think you're better than me? Because you're not going to kiss his ass. You're not going to join the Kiss My Ass Club. So what makes you think you're better than me? And then he beats the shit out of JR to turn heel. Big Evil Undertaker was great. I think Big Evil Undertaker doesn't get really his just due. You know, I thought the heel run, you know, with Taker was fun. I thought it was fun. And this was the first match that he had as a heel, you know, as far as the pay-per-view match is considered. And this was great. You know, you have RVD, you know, he's flying around the ring, doing somersaults and kicking Taker and all this other kind of shit. And, you know, the match kind of switches transition when it starts going backstage. When you had Undertaker, he like, you know, not a Manhattan drop necessarily, but you know the little spot when they, you know, put the wrestler and they bounce their nuts off the ropes, right? Like, and they're just hanging there, the Shawn Michaels spot. And then like Undertaker big booted him off of that and they start going into the crowd. And this was, for me, this was one of the more surprising things. I forgot how much offense Taker let RVD have on him, bro. Like, it wasn't like crazy, like, but it's just crazy that this match was even 60-40. The 60 is Taker and the 40 is RVD, but it's like, you know, I forgot how much offense, because, you know, you would hear Taker and RVD and automatically think that Taker's taking advantage of this entire match. No, you know, RVD, they go into the crowd because RVD, like, clotheslines Taker over the barricade, right? And, like, you know, Taker got the advantage again when he threw him into the barricade inside of the audience going towards the backstage area. But then, like, you know, RVD's getting more offense in. You know, he hits him with he sprays him with the fire extinguisher. Then he hits him with the fire extinguisher on the head. And then he gets, like, on the entranceway, I guess you can say. Not the entranceway necessarily as far as, like, where the ramp is, but I guess where the entranceway would be at if this was like Madison Square Garden or some shit. Like the exit, it's an exit for the audience, but it's an entranceway if it was Madison Square Garden. Kind of like those ways, right? And like RVD hits like a crossbody off the top of the stands onto Undertaker. And like afterwards, while they're like battling, eventually they make themselves towards the entranceway, right? The actual entranceway, like the presentation set. And like they're still going back and forth, right? Like you're having RVD, he's doing the Rolling Thunder on the stage. You know, he gives Undertaker like I guess like a Vin Terminator, but it's like like a baseball slide Vin Terminator, where like Undertaker's like leaning up against the entrance ramp, like the actual tunnelway. He's like leaning up against one of the lights or like the posts, and like RVD gives him a Vin Terminator, like a running baseball slide with the chair. And like, you know, again, I'm surprised. And he tries to spinning heel kick Undertaker. I can't remember he tried to hit a Van Daminator on him or if it was an actual regular spinning heel kick. I can't remember. Going off memory here. But when he did that, Undertaker moved out of the way, and then like he like ended up spinning heel kicking the actual post in itself, and like he's selling it, and then Undertaker picks up a chair and he beats the ever-loving shit out of RVD with the chair. And eventually it led to Undertaker chokeslamming RVD off the stage onto like a couple of tables down underneath it. And he won the Hardcore Championship that way. Again, I forgot how fucking fun this match was. They more importantly, I forgot how much offense Taker let RVD have. I think that was the most surprising thing. Now, you can say, you know, RVD is probably the most popular. Or let me say it like this. Would I want to say RVD is the most over? For sure, top 5, maybe even top 3. Actually, I will actually say top 3. Name the
Just go, Emily. Go.
Open the
What is happening?
Cecilia, open the door! Open the fucking door! Cecilia, get back here!
Jesus!
Get back here now! You can't do that! Get back here! Open the fucking door!
I'm going to take off all the belt, all the straps. I'm just going to leave. Leave the shirt on for now. As I get leaner, I'll pull the shirt back off once I'm leaner later. I don't think we need it off right now. Just going to wear my shorts, wear t-shirts, and just get my training done and not worry about things. If I'm going to be in a black t-shirt, I need my arms looking bigger in the shirt though. So we're going to do all that, you know. It's always funny to me, you know, the internet versus real life. If I'm out in a t-shirt like this in public, I get compliments on my arms. It's ridiculous. Like, the real world versus the internet are so different. They're so different.
Have you seen Sheamus? Sheamus!
How's it going? I'm Sheamus, aka the Celtic Warrior, and welcome to Celtic Warrior Workouts. We are here today in Kansas City, just before a SmackDown Live taping on a Friday, and we have a very, very unique WWE superstar. I'm excited, man. This girl is off the bleeding charts. Please welcome the one and only, the ballsy badass, the green-haired scream queen, Shotzi James!
Sheamus! You ready to sweat?
I'm ready to check my insurance policy. I know I must lost a leg on this thing. First off, thanks for being on the channel. Second off, thanks not for putting me in the hospital. Third off, how did you get your own tank?
I saw this tank at Walmart for kids.
Right.
And I was like, I have to have that. So I started coming out on the indies with this little mini tank that I got from Walmart. And then I brought it with me to NXT. And it's evolved since then.
This is incredible. How did your love for wrestling start?
My friends were wrestling at like a bar, like just wrestling as Street Fighter characters, and
Really?
yeah, it was like cosplay wrestling.
Where was this?
In Oakland, California.
Okay, so you're a Cali girl.
Yeah, so I watched them wrestle and I was like, this is so cool, you guys have to teach me, and I just fell in love.
What's the story with your passion for horror movies?
Oh yeah. I mean, like, besides wrestling, horror movies is my jam. That is my love. My dad kind of got me into it. He was always watching like the Sci-Fi Channel, so like science fiction horror. Probably some of the first ones was like Child's Play,
Yeah.
Puppet Master.
Puppet, I never seen the Puppet Master.
No?
I remember Child's Play because obviously the same colour hair as Chucky. PG movies, parental guidance, going with the parents, but very strict.
Yeah.
Ireland was very strict. Natural Born Killers, they banned that movie.
Really?
Yeah, and I think they banned
That one wasn't that
Reservoir
bad.
Dogs as well. But at the
Oh.
time it was considered, and they banned The Exorcist for years because that was considered a video nasty.
Whoa.
They could ban a lot of back
Did you say
then.
video nasty?
They called them video nasty.
I love that! That is a genre.
Yeah, video nasty.
The video nasties.
Let's talk about your training, because that's really important too. When did you start working out? Was it something that you did in high school, or what was it?
I probably got like my first gym membership when I was like 12. But I was doing like the littlest bits of workout. Like I was like on the elliptical and maybe did some squats. And maybe like an ab workout.
At 12 years old, that's great.
Yeah, I wanted to be a cheerleader, so I wanted to get in shape. But it wasn't until like I decided that I wanted to be a wrestler that I was like, okay, I'm gonna start like lifting. I want like some muscles.
Okay.
I work out to like feel good, you know. I just want to like feel good for my matches. I don't lift too heavy anymore. I just want to feel good.
Okay.
I've been doing like more yoga lately.
That's cool.
More like band works. You know, wrestling for 9 years has kind of taken a toll.
Okay, let's get into it, right?
All right, let's go.
Let's go do a bit.
Let's do it. Come on, this way. Wait.
Do we need to validate this?
Yeah. Can we get valet? Can we get valet?
valet
Whatever.
parking?
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah. Sheamus hit me up like 2 days ago.
I hit her up, dogs. Hit her up. It's like, yo, Shots, what are you doing on Friday?
Yeah, gave me like called me on my birthday.
Her birthday. I did wish you happy birthday once I found that out, though.
Well, I had this crazy workout plan. Like we were gonna lift heavy today. But then Sheamus was like, I got a big match tonight. Shotzi, I know that you have the biggest balls in the room, but can you please go light on me? My match means so much to me tonight, and I just don't want to be sore for it. So we're gonna do.
This was me you're talking
Yes, yeah, you said that.
I don't remember any of this conversation.
No, he said it. He's just not admitting it. We're just gonna do what I would do before my matches.
Okay.
So we're gonna go light. We're gonna stretch a lot, get loose for this match of yours,
Okay.
and we're gonna get it done.
So what are we going to call this workout?
This is Shotzi's ballsy pregame workout.
Awesome.
Awesome. We're gonna do some 90-90 hip switches. Start like this,
Yeah.
and we'll switch it.
Okay.
Get a pelvic thrust in,
Okay.
and then switch into a lunge.
Right.
And then we're gonna do the other side.
Okay.
Whoop.
Just helps open up your hips, right?
Yup. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah? You feeling it?
Yeah.
Get on in.
Well, I'll let you go first.
Okay. And I just do like what feels good, you know? I don't go by a number. I'm just like, all right, that feels like enough.
Right. Is the pelvic thrust thing something you just drew in yourself?
No.
That was Sean Hayes?
No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give Sean Hayes that one.
Alright, okay.
Okay, maybe the pelvic thrust was me.
Here.
Yup.
I'll have to work on the pelvic thrust parts.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of skipping through it, but that's okay.
Here.
There we go. Just do what feels
These are
good.
really good actually for my hips.
Feels good.
What song was that?
I don't know.
This is really good actually because it gets everything.
Yes.
It gets glutes, gets hips.
I've earned some lower back problems from wrestling, so I need this. Open up my hips, get rid of that lower back pain, you know?
Yeah, trust me, I know all about that.
There you go. So you get in there, the froggy,
Right.
and then you just kind of lean into it.
How many then do you do?
I just, like 5. Just do what feels good.
So what does this work, shots?
Opening up the hips.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of these are gonna be opening up the hips.
Okay. My hips are not great. So here and here, is it?
Yeah. Just
Like
lean
that?
into it. Yeah. I love that you're putting over my stretches. I really appreciate it. Very nice. Get them froggies. Feels good, right?
Yeah. Definitely would recommend anyone though doing like using yoga mats.
Help your wrestler knees.
Oh yeah, this is good. That's good. I like it. It's definitely opened up my hips, which I need.
There you go.
Okay. Right. 2 sets. What's the next thing we're doing? So where are you feeling this?
I'm feeling it all in here.
Okay. Huh? Yeah. So everything's like glutes and hammer, okay.
Yeah.
So how many do you do? 5 on each side? Cool.
Oh, see? I'm already like cracking.
I'm already feeling good, man. I'm feeling loose.
See?
U-boats versus submarines. Canal
Okay.
Uno
Your
investigates
turn?
the underwater menace. Later, Atlantis
Lean
fish
into
people,
it.
the real underwater
Get like
menace.
5 each side.
Dynamic stretching, man. I like it. I should have brought a can of WD-40. Jesus.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
And Sean Hayes gave you all this stuff? That's cool. Yeah, everything's loosening up real good. It's awesome. I needed this for sure.
So now we're gonna go into a lunge,
Okay.
and then we're gonna put our elbow down. Hold that for like 3 seconds,
Okay.
and then give me a twist. We're gonna do 5 each side.
Okay. Awesome. I wish I had flexibility like that.
And then switch it.
That's awesome. Come right down here. And then
Try to get that elbow down if you can.
I can't. Oh my god. Are you serious?
Yes.
Jesus. What if I can only get it to here?
That's okay. Baby steps. We're getting there. That's fine. Get a nice twist. There we go. It's a great twist. Is this side tighter?
This one?
Yeah.
Does it look tighter?
A little bit.
Maybe. I thought this was looser. I felt like I could get down further with my elbow.
So we're gonna go into a half pigeon.
Right.
And then just lean into this for a little bit.
How long do you normally stay in that position for?
Not long, you know, like 10, 15 seconds.
Okay.
And then I like to pair this one with cradling the baby.
Okay.
So right after you do that one,
Jesus.
bring your foot around and then just feel it out. You can kind of wiggle a little bit.
Right.
He's looking at me like, yeah, no.
I'm actually not sweating for the work, I'm sweating from having to do it. Okay.
This is where you can like really envision yourself pummeling your opponent, you know? And then we get to the other baby.
Take care of the babies,
Yeah,
man, you know what I mean?
take care of the
Right.
babies. You can grab it wherever you need to.
Okay.
Whatever feels good. Whatever floats your boat. Get into a half pigeon.
Okay.
Yep.
This one.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
And then if you can, yeah, put your like.
Do I have to
forehead-
bring it further?
Wherever feels good. You don't need to force anything. Just hold that. Get in the zone. Take some good deep breaths. And then when you're ready, you can bring your baby over and.
So how did I
cradle
just
it.
come around here?
Yeah, come around. Yeah, now bring. Yep, cradle that baby.
Oh my god.
There you
That
go.
baby does not want to be cradled.
You're taking good care of that baby. I appreciate it.
Okay.
And now the other side.
Okay. Come here, baby.
There we go.
Come here. Oh
Good job. The struggle in your face.
no. Oh my god.
If I could get you to get into a downward dog, then you can bring your feet up. Bring your feet to the sides of the mat and kind of turn them out. And then we're gonna go into a squat. And then we're gonna hold this for a little bit.
Okay. How long do you normally hold these for?
For like 10 seconds.
Okay.
A few breaths, you know. We're gonna lift and lower.
Okay.
And then we'll do like a few slow ones.
Right.
And then we can like speed it up for 5.
Okay.
And this will really like help strengthen that lower back and them hips, but also give it a really good stretch. We can start on your hands and knees.
Okay, so beginners, right?
Yeah.
Hands and knees. Okay.
And then
Yeah.
pick your legs up.
Okay.
And then get flat.
Yeah.
And then now walk your feet up. And then get them to the edge of the mat.
Yeah.
And turn them out.
Yeah.
And now you can go into the squat. Yeah, there you go. And then just hold that.
Do I move side to side?
Yeah, feel it out. You can like sway into it a little. Get some movement in there. And I'm no yoga master. These are just what I found that works for me.
What's next?
Put your thumbs on your sternum.
What?
Like this. And then you're gonna lift to where your butt's like parallel to your shoulders.
Okay.
And then back down. Do a couple slow ones. You're going too fast.
Okay.
One more. All right. I told you it'd be a light day. So we're just gonna do some pull parts.
Okay, pull the parts.
Yep, 10 of these. And then we're gonna pair them with, I don't know, whatever these are called.
Over the shoulders.
Yes, there we go, he knows. I also have some like terrible shoulders.
Oh yeah, me too.
When we get to then,
Yeah.
do it again. So you just bend and straighten.
Okay.
And then I like to hold that for like 3 seconds.
3 seconds? Okay.
Yeah. My knees are like always angry, but this one like always gets them back in line.
That's cool. So maybe you do 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like to pair these with wall sits.
1 minute. Go.
All right. This one also gets my knees just feeling right. I have to do it now
That's good.
before every match.
You feeling warmed up now? Feeling a little bit warmed up?
Oh yeah, I feel nice and loose now. You?
Yeah. No, I feel great.
Good.
2, 1, done.
All right.
Okay. My turn, right?
Your turn. You don't feel it?
You're cracking?
Yeah. And begin.
Or do you put your arms when you're doing this? Do you put them on your thighs?
I try not to.
Yeah. This is crazy, right? Stuff like this is mad because there's no weights involved. It's just
Yeah.
your body. Have you even hit 30 seconds yet?
You're almost there. You're halfway now. 10 seconds. This is nothing. You're looking good. All right, release.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna fire up them glutes and them hips again.
Yeah.
So I got
Them
a
glutes
band.
and them hips.
Yeah, got the band around my ankles.
Okay.
And we're just gonna,
What do you call these shots?
I don't know, in and outs. I don't
In
know.
and
What do you
outs.
call them? What do you call
I'll
them?
call them crab walkers.
Crab
walkers.
Crab walkers.
Just bench out of your way.
10, and then go back. And then I pair these with Frankensteins.
Frankenstein's. Now you're talking.
Which I had to add these in because I'm a huge fan of Frankenstein's monster.
That is awesome. We need to get some of them like in front of our video ones. That's good. That is great.
Frankenstein's.
Keep going.
It's alive! It's alive!
A few opportunities.
Okay.
Do you know what is
Oh
popular?
no, my shoelace!
They're not proper Frankensteins.
Whoa, okay.
There you go.
All right. Here,
What?
put 2 on.
Boy.
Because it looks too easy for you. How about 3, Seamus? We gotta get you ready for this match.
Put that on.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go. That's what you needed, 3 bands.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There we go. Oh my god.
Frankie Vallis.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Attaboy. And back. Can I get a Frankenstein moan?
Try to laugh.
There we go. So this is the musical portion of
Okay.
my workout. I'll give you one.
Man, I've got major wax buildup, so I'm just letting you know.
Oh, that's
This
okay.
may not come back the same.
Van Halen is our musical guest artist for this exercise.
We will find the generic equivalent of Van Halen
Yes.
for all of you. Or if you want, we can tell you what the songs are, and as you're watching, you can play the Van Halen maybe on your iTunes or Spotify in the background, right?
So we're gonna do some ladder drills.
Okay.
To Hot for Teacher, Van Halen, and we're just gonna go until the song ends.
So you go, I go, you go. So you basically do it for what? How long is the song?
No, you're gonna just follow me.
That's what I
The
mean.
song is 5 minutes.
So we're doing 5-minute non-stop ladder drills.
Yes.
That's great.
Alright, I'm playing the song.
Let's go. I'll follow your
me.
lead. I'll follow your lead.
Here we go. Let's go.
All right. Take a good pace. Again, same thing?
Yep.
And then it's wrong.
No, you're doing it. You got it. Other side.
I used to do all the ladder work. This one.
You got it. No, he's catching up to me.
Nope.
Straighten it out. There we go. Yeah! We're go behind.
What? What the f am I doing?
I mean, you should be doing. It's kind of like an Irish jig, so.
Yeah, but I only have a couple of Guinness on me.
This one is special for you. Bring him behind.
What am I doing?
You got it. Yep, that's it. Yep.
You're doing this on purpose, man. It's total What the f am I doing? This is a giant rib on me.
It is. I think he's getting blown.
Come on, Van Halen, hurry up. Hang on. Let's do this again.
You're gonna jump.
Quick.
You're gonna jump and turn.
Okay.
We're almost there. That works too. I like that one. I think you just invented one. All right, song's almost done. We'll do the Irish jig again. Song's almost over. Ah!
Oh my god, how long was that song? How long was that song?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
That's a good 5 minutes.
Well, we're gonna finish it out with some abs. You wanna look hot in this match? You wanna take your shirt off?
That's hip sale for me.
Get abs going.
Oh, you're saying it? Yeah, let's do it. Let's get that core tight.
Oh, okay. Last set, best set. So I call this exercise the ABBA abs because we're going to be listening to some ABBA, my favorite ABBA song.
What's the name of the song? What's the ABBA song?
Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Okay, so gimme, gimme, gimme. When we start this workout, you can start playing gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yes. So you can just follow along with me. So we're getting 4 minutes and 50 seconds of abs here. And we're
Be
gonna
comfortable in the on.
Oh!
Yeah! Woo!
I wish you told me. I would have brought a lighter up to that.
Oh no.
And here we go.
It's weird that we're the only ones who can hear this. Okay.
Tabletop. 2.
1. Yeah.
Feet down. 2. And again.
3, 2, 4, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, sorry.
All right. Starfish. All right. Go into plank. And then touch opposite toe to hand.
Come on, do that.
And then knee to elbow. That's 1.
What's next?
Practice stripping.
What's next?
We're gonna bicycle and split.
Oh, Jesus. My stomach's on fire. What's next?
Scissors. Oh, scissors. Yeah, scissors. That's what they're called.
How much long left is the song?
We have a minute left.
How long is she gonna say gimme, gimme, gimme for?
Okay, now plank for the rest of the song.
Huh?
Plank for the rest of the song.
Gimme, 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 that's what she says. I think I hate Abba now.
And we're done.
That
Your
camera.
ass is gonna be popping.
All right, shots.
Yeah.
You got me good.
Okay.
The stretching stuff was like, this is tough, but it's good.
It's good for you,
I'm
right?
gonna get ready for the match. I'm not gonna do any expenditure of any energy. And here I am in a pool of sweat after the last couple of sets. Mental, man. That's cool, like, but you keep playing down the fact you're not in shape or you're not a workout person, but you absolutely are a workout person. Every workout is different for everybody else. They have their own journey. But this was great. This is, I wasn't sure what to expect because of the time we had and because I told you earlier on, it's TV, so everyone wants to be in a game. Like this stuff, it's fun to do, and it's obviously it's very beneficial for what we do. So anything you want to tell people watching at home who like maybe struggle with working out or they're looking for a way to begin or start? And
I don't love working out, and I don't always feel so awesome because, you know, we go hard in the ring and we're in pain constantly. So like, I think music is really what gets me through my workouts. So if you got a good playlist, pick the songs that you love. Like if I have that mapped out, it gets me through the workout.
well, I appreciate your shots. I appreciate being on the channel. It's awesome.
Thank you for having me.
No, listen, I called you at the last minute, you know what I mean? And you jumped right in there and put me through an awesome workout, like better than any hotel cardio or jumping on any treadmill. I mean it, like it was great. So I guess the last thing to do is, let's head to the ring. You ready?
Yeah, let's go. Here we go. To the ring. Let's go.
Let's go.
Left it.
Keep going.
Left it. Left it.
you know, hey, Vince is stepping away. You're going to take this spot, but he's chiming in, and he's still meeting with me all the time, and he's still, you know, directing traffic from the side.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when people are like, yeah, but it's your decision, right? Yeah, sorta. You know what I mean? Like you're yes, and you have to defend your position, and you have to be able to sell that to people and explain it to people if it's a little bit not your position, or a little bit, well, why did this happen? And you don't want to say, well, because you know, it's not wasn't totally my decision, or and not because you don't want to seem like you don't have that power, but like you have to position it that way. It's just such a complex. In an ideal world, I would do this. We don't live in an ideal world.
Right.
We live in a realistic world where I can't do that because of this, and I can't do that because of this, and I can't move this here because, you know, I wish it was as simple as what people think when they just go like, why didn't they just do this? I wish it was that simple. I really do, you know.
What did I say, my brothers and sisters? It seems the heels advocate has to make this video because Triple H has a